Running a business comes with a lot of what ifs, but luckily there's a simple answer to them. Shopify. It's the commerce platform behind millions of businesses, including Thrive Cosmetics and Momofuku, and it'll help you with everything you need. From website design and marketing to boosting sales and expanding operations, Shopify can get the job done and make your dream a reality. Turn those what ifs into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Your burger is served, and this is our finest Pepsi Zero Sugar. Its sweet profile perfectly balances the savory notes of your burger.
That is one perfect combination. Burgers deserve Pepsi.
If you're hoping to move into a coordinator role or become a better one, know this: head coaches aren't just hiring a play caller. They're hiring a culture carrier, a problem solver, and a trusted voice. Today on The Next Move, presented by Coach Portal, we're breaking down exactly what great head coaches are looking for in their coordinators and how you can prepare for that opportunity. If you haven't already, sign up for your free 6-month trial at Coach Portal. Upload your resume, highlight your leadership and system strengths, and stay visible to programs looking to hire. Go to coach-portal.com, enter the code CC Podcast for your free 6-month trial, and make your next move. Joining me today to discuss this topic is the head coach at Henderson State, Coach Greg Holsworth. Greg, great to have you here on the podcast, and I'm excited to dig into this topic.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys for having me. It's a pleasure to get to do it this morning. We're summertime, we're not doing a lot, and it's always fun to talk some ball.
It's always interesting to see what head coaches value in their coordinators. And as I started out in the intro, it's not always that you're an incredible play caller. Yes, that's part of it. But there's so much more, because those guys are your next in line, there to help you build the entire program. So we'd love to hear what you're looking for and the things that you value when you're looking at a coordinator in your program.
Yeah, I think coordinators, sometimes on the outside, you naturally think that it's about play calling or schemes, and there's no doubt that that stuff matters. But I think where coordinators have to excel, and I think I would speak for most head coaches here when I say you're leaders. You need to be able to lead your side of the ball. You need to be able to lead not only the players on your side of the ball, but the coaching staff on that side of the ball. And so it's not about 3-4, 4-2-5, all those type of things in terms of the most important piece. It's, can you motivate and lead guys and have a succinct plan of what we want to do day in, day out?
What are some of the things when you're looking at like the characteristics of that guy who not only is a great coordinator, but is also that guy who's helping you drive the culture, build the program, go beyond all the things that are X's and O's?
Well, I think one of the things that people overlook sometimes is how good of a person are you? When I hire coaches, one of the first things I look for, are they good people? When I say good people, do they have high character? Our kids will figure out really, really quick if you're a good person or not. Every program has their culture and their mantras. Usually kids and usually other people within the room can see, are you living by those mantras yourself? And so, when you've got a guy that has good leadership capabilities or qualities, usually he's a guy that embodies exactly what you're trying to make your team culture, where people are living right off the field, and then those things transition to practice, and then obviously on the game day on Saturdays. So, I want guys that are good people with good leadership to start with.
When you're looking at their ability as teachers, what are some of the things you want to see? What are the things you want to stand out from that coordinator?
Yeah, as teachers, to start with, they've got to have a good knowledge that they can teach me. So when you talk about, there's several different ways to learn. Saban stuff is kind of passed through the circles of there's 7 different ways they teach things. Can you teach it on the board? Can you teach it from the film? Can you do it in walkthroughs? So for my coordinators, what I think is really, really important is, can you meet the kids where they're at? Can you take a room of guys that learn a whole bunch of different ways? And can you meet all of them in the middle where they found the right ways to learn or right ways to teach them? So for some of those guys, that's going to be just straight film room, and they're going to be able to watch that stuff, go out there, and you're going to be able to see it translate. For other guys, you might have to do extra walkthrough time with these coordinators and with how things are progressing on the field. Like, I'm going to be able to see, are they communicating this to the staff well enough, where the staff is then able to teach the same things their position room And then we're watching our guys go from, maybe knowledge base to here, and we're making fixes on maybe what we messed up on practice 1. By practice 2, some of those things are gone. And then by practice 3, some of those other things are gone. And we just keep getting better and better in that regard.
Communication with your coordinators is the key. And when you look at coordinators, a lot of times, especially maybe more experienced guys, there's some big personalities that get involved in it. There's certainly egos because they take pride in what they're doing. But ultimately, the decisions made, you guys have to be in lockstep. So what do you look for in a guy to have that kind of proactive communication so that, in a lot of ways, it's low maintenance for you?
Sure. Well, like having a background as being a defensive coordinator, I think the head coach is going to rely on you to do your job. As I sit in this chair now, Will Wagner, he's our defensive coordinator. He's an awesome person, awesome coach, awesome technician. I've got to trust him to do his job. And so from a communication standpoint, like within our program, we have our pillars, family, toughness, accountability. But then, that's how we want to live. That's how we want to practice. In terms of the scheme side of things, I've got to turn that over to him and trust him to lead that side of the ball schematically. I don't think you hire people to try and restrict them. I think you hire people to let them do their job. And so that's where the communication simply is. If there's something that maybe schematically I don't like or whatever, we can have a talk about that. But I trust Will. Will's going to do a great job. And my job is to let him do a great job. And I know he'll do that.
You yourself at Henderson State have been promoted through the ranks, starting out as defensive line coach, becoming the defensive coordinator. Now you're the head coach. For the guy who's looking to earn that coordinator position, what advice would you give to that assistant?
I think you've got to emulate what the head coach wants in terms of culture. I think within your culture and within your mantras, however you phrase it, there's a certain type of way that head coach may want you to practice. There's a certain type of way that head coach may want you to teach. I think that you need to do everything you can to help the program all be in alignment first. From a pure just football and learning standpoint, what you need to do is work at where you're weakest. One of the best things that happened to me, I came up as a front guy. I played linebacker. I GA'd as a DN's coach. And, a lot of my knowledge early on in my career was hands-on with the front. And then early on in my coordinator career, in the moment it seemed rough, but we had one of our DB coaches got an opportunity to move on, and he did a great job for us. And so this popped up right before spring practice 1. And so I end up on the fly having to work with our DBs without much notice at all. And you find out in those moments what you don't know. And you find out in those moments that, drawing up 1x7 on the board and some of those things, that's the easy part. But when you've got to go in those rooms with those kids and coach all the intricacies, then you really find out, what, I've got some shortcomings here. And from a career path standpoint, that's one of the best things that could have happened to me. It put me in a stressful situation, forces you to learn. And what I really realized is that I was in over my head for a couple months and I had to catch up. And so it's hard to be a great coordinator when you've got a knowledge gap at a certain spot. And so what I would recommend all these guys that are trying to get to that situation is, in your heart where you're weakest, the stuff that you don't know as well as you should or as well as you need to. Seek that out. We have all these resources now, this podcast, Twitter or X, I should say now, you can reach out to any coach in the country and ask, what about this? And most guys are good dudes and they're going to help you learn. So there's really not an excuse to not know something now or not give yourself an opportunity to learn it over a month or two.
Coach, some great insight there into what a head coach looks for in the coordinator and some things that you lived yourself. I appreciate you taking the time, sharing your insight, and wish you and the Reddies best of luck here in 2025.
Thank you, sir.
The best coordinators aren't just smart, they're trusted. They earn that trust by being aligned, prepared, and focused on the bigger picture. If you want to be seen for those qualities, make sure you're visible to decision makers. Sign up for your free 6-month trial at Coach Portal. Upload your resume and let your leadership profile do the talking. Go to coach-portal.com, enter the code CCPodcast, and make your next move.